Welcome to the Senior Techie Podcast. Imagine for a second losing the ability to, read a restaurant menu or even turn off a lamp in your living room. Not because your body failed you, but because the solutions are buried under like a mountain of confusing instruction manual.
Yeah, manuals written for software engineers, right. It's incredibly frustrating.
Exactly. And, we know technology can feel like it's moving way too fast, but our goal here is to reframe that. We aren't talking about complicated gadgets. We're looking at quiet helpers that make daily life doable and dignified for you.
Right, because the irony is that the tech meant to preserve our independence often just creates this entirely new layer of stress. So before we even talk about how to apply these tools, we really need to, dismantle the intimidating jargon so you feel empowered.
Definitely. Let's start with assistive technology. It sounds like sci-fi, but it's really not.
No, not at all. Think of it like a traditional magnifying glass or, one of those mechanical reacher grabber tools you might use. It's just built into the devices you already own.
Oh, I like that. A digital upgrade to physical tools. What about text-to-speech?
Well, imagine having a grandchild sitting right next to you and they're reading the impossibly tiny print on a restaurant receipt or like a medicine bottle out loud. That's all text-to-speech is doing.
Right, it's just extending your vision. Okay, what about a smart home plug? Because that sounds like you'd need to hire an electrician.
I know, the name is terrible. But it's really just like the old clap-on, clap-off devices, except modern, and you control it with your voice.
A clap-off switch. I actually like to think of it as an invisible extension cord, one that reaches right to your favorite armchair so you can control a stubborn lamp without getting up.
Yes, an invisible extension cord is a perfect way to look at it.
But here's the thing. How do we actually use this stuff without the anxiety of overhauling everything? Like downloading buggy apps and making 3 user accounts.
Right, the digital frustration. Well, that brings us to the core strategy. And it's simple. Don't try to learn everything at once. Just pick one assistive tool to solve one nagging problem.
So, the one-tool strategy. Just isolating one specific bottleneck.
Exactly. Like getting a hearing aid that finally makes having a conversation in a noisy restaurant possible again.
Or using that text-to-speech feature on your phone for tiny print in the mail.
Yeah, or the smart plug for a hard-to-reach light. The emotional payoff there is huge. A single change leads to, less frustration and much longer independence at home.
And way fewer of those moments where you say, well, I guess I just can't do that anymore.
Right. You don't have to surrender to that.
But wait, let me push back a bit. Because understanding the value naturally leads to a big hurdle. How would seniors or their families even know that assistive technology is available for a specific need?
That is the discovery challenge. It's the biggest barrier. People simply don't know what they don't know.
Especially since tech companies are mostly pitching these things to 20-somethings, not, someone struggling with arthritis.
Exactly. Which is why seeking out patient guidance is so important. You need advocates who understand both the aging process and the tech landscape.
Which is exactly why the Senior Techie exists as a resource. We want to help you discover these exact solutions.
Because bridging that gap between the physical problem and the digital solution changes everything.
It really does. So we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. What is one daily, nagging physical frustration in your routine that you have simply surrendered to, which a quiet helper might easily fix?
It's a question that can truly transform how you navigate your home.
This podcast was brought to you by The Senior Techie. It's available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. If you'd like to receive their free newsletters, you can subscribe at subscribe.theseniortechie.com.